We know everybody's hungry, as we saw. We'll just take a few minutes. We won't stand in the way between you and your break and a tasty snack. But good morning, everyone. Thank you for rising and hopefully sitting down for a few more minutes. I'm Sarra Talib. I'm a PhD candidate in food systems here at the University of Vermont.
And I'm Nicole Reilly. I'm the Sustainability and Campus Partnerships Manager with UVM Dining and Sodexo.
Awesome. And so we're going to spend a few minutes just talking to you about designing waste out of our food system, what that means, and how we've applied that here at RISE. So at least a third of food that's produced for human consumption around the world is never eaten. And that's while 2 billion people are experiencing some level of food insecurity, whether that's moderate or severe. And it's not just the food that's wasted when it's not eaten, it's also all the resources that are used to produce, harvest, transport, and consume the food that's never eaten that are also wasted, including water, energy, agricultural inputs, labor, land, money. Food that's never eaten uses 1/3 of all water that we use for agriculture, 1/3 of all agricultural land, and $2.6 trillion, that's what it costs us, and that's including social and environmental costs. $2.6 trillion, that's roughly the size of France's economy. Food that's never eaten is responsible for 10% of all anthropogenic greenhouse gas emissions, so that's a tenth. And our food system today is unsustainable. It depends on the extraction of finite resources to produce food, and as I said, a third of that gets wasted. It's a profligate, linear model of take, make, waste. There has to be a better way. The way that we produce, process, distribute, and consume food can and must be redesigned to help people and nature thrive. So what if this nutritious and delicious mid-morning snack that you're about to have could also tackle climate change, support biodiversity, and promote a more just and equitable food system? In a food system where the waste is designed out and isn't part of the design, a circular model prevails, inspired by natural systems of regeneration. And I think it's important to note that waste is a human design flaw. It's human-made. Waste does not exist in nature. Everything that looks like waste to us in nature is food for another process. When a leaf falls from a tree, it deposits nutrients back into the soil and allowing new growth to come. In a circular food system, food is produced in a way that regenerates nature, unnecessary waste is eliminated, and products and materials from the food system are circulated for as long as possible at their highest value. A circular economy for food could cut total greenhouse gas emissions by half in just under 30 years, create a nearly $3 trillion economic opportunity in the form of diverse new jobs along the food value chain, and feed up to 4 billion more people. And of course, research and innovation are key to driving the circular economy for food, and this exciting collaboration between UVM researchers, such as myself, my advisor, Dr. Amy Trubeck, who's the chair of the Nutrition and Food Sciences Department, Polly Erickson, from the director of the Food Systems Research Center here at UVM, and our colleagues at UVM Dining and Sodexo, to design a circular menu for this summit is no exception. The UVM Dining and Sodexo team were eager to rise to the culinary innovation challenge that we gave them, and we provided them with a set of circular food tenets, including sourcing local, low-impact, seasonal ingredients, as well as upcycling surplus ingredients, making a plan for any surplus food, and also eliminating all unnecessary packaging waste. And my colleague Nicole here will tell you all about how that went and what you can expect from the delicious meals throughout the conference. Okay.
Thanks, Sarra. So when designing the menu, we were very intentional about every decision that was made and the impact that would have on food and packaging waste. One of the first parts of designing a zero waste event is really understanding the amount of attendees that are going to be here. So apologize for all of the emails you might have gotten about, are you eating lunch with us, are you not? But it is really important to understand when we forecast the number of guests and how much they're going to eat. On some days, they're going to eat more, and we want to make sure everybody gets what they need. So thanks for doing that. Chefs want to feed people, not the compost. As Sarra said, it takes a lot of time, energy, and money to create the food that we hope our guests eat. And so the compost is really the last resort for food. It's always a balancing act, making sure that guests are satisfied and also ensuring that we don't have a lot of excess food at the end of an event. Really, as a society, we need to kind of address this abundance mindset. And what I mean by that in the context of this conference is a bountiful buffet throughout the entire service. We have to be a little okay with things running out, not being completely full at the end of the event. We have to adjust our perspective. So the menu design and how we applied that to this conference, we were really inclusive about the menu. So appealing flavors, plant-forward, mostly plant-based or vegan, very allergen-friendly, simple, wholesome ingredients that we know that people enjoy. We have a plan to repurpose surplus food from today into the menu for tomorrow. So as an example, as we go into break, any leftover yogurt from the parfait bar will be turned into a tzatziki dip for tomorrow's lunch. Any granola will be repurposed into energy bites for tomorrow's snack. We're donating any excess food to the Rally Cats food cupboard, which is in the first floor of this building. And if it's above and beyond what they can take, we'll bring that to Feeding Chittenden, the local food pantry. We are proud to prioritize sourcing local and organic foods, so definitely check out the signage as you're going through the conference. Look at the featured producers, learn a little bit about their story and about our Vermont First program here at UVM. If you haven't purchased a meal ticket, we still do have some available, so just go to the registration desk and they can get you a ticket so you can partake in the experience. The next piece, which is a big one, is really reducing packaging waste. At a conference of this size, you might be more familiar with disposables or single-use plates, cups, etc. We're really proud that we've put a lot of time and effort into making sure we're staffed so we can wash all of the reusable cups, plates, bowls, utensils. So that's big. It's not always possible based on budget, infrastructure, equipment, but for a sustainability summit, it's definitely something that we want to make sure that you take away. The next piece is, as we go into single use, if you are planning events, that brings us to the compostable packaging conundrum, which is basically what's next? If you can't use reusables, what's the next best option? And at this point, locally, recycling is best. Compostable packaging, our local compost facility no longer takes compostable ware. So that actually ends up in the landfill. So just make sure that if you are recycling, it's empty, rinse it or wipe it clean with a napkin. If you find any disposables here on campus, please use the bubbles and signage to properly sort your waste. We are going to be tracking food waste throughout this conference, actually. So in the kitchen, our team uses technology we've used for more than a decade called LeanPath. We weigh and measure all of our waste in the UVM kitchens. And we're going to also have you scrape your plates as a learning activity in this room, if possible, because we will weigh that at the end of today and report out tomorrow on how we did on our food waste. So with that, be mindful of your hunger and satiety cues as you go through the buffet line. We hope you enjoy meals throughout the time, and we're going to excuse you for your snack. If you are partaking in the meal experience, it's just out in the Fireplace Lounge, and Sarra and I are both here for questions, and we hope you connect throughout the conference.
And we'd just like to reiterate at what the wonderful point that Nicole said, chefs want to feed people and not the compost. So we want to call out Vermont for the wonderful job that they have done in keeping food out of landfill, which is huge. Also here at UVM, I see Corey Berman in the room. We are diverting on average 15 tons of food per week from landfill, which is great, and other organics and compostables. But we want to point out to the fact that it's really at the bottom of the food recovery hierarchy. So edible food that is still edible, should be a last resort in going to the compost, and we hope that you think about this as you eat your way through the conference. And thank you so much. And if you want to chat more about closing the loop on waste in the food system, please get in touch. Thank you.